In the year 4927, humanity was no longer confined to Earth. Over the centuries, humans had spread like wildfire across the stars, building alliances, forging civilizations, and eventually earning a coveted seat in the Galactic Council, the ancient governing body that ruled over thousands of species across the known universe. Ambassador Lyanna Verne, the youngest human ever appointed to the Council, stood proudly among the towering figures of alien leaders in the great chamber of Orcs. The chamber itself floated in the orbit of the dying star Elvarin, symbolizing wisdom drawn from decay. The Council had promised an age of peace, prosperity, and shared knowledge. But behind their glittering promises, shadows had been gathering. Humanity, seen as the upstarts by the elder races, was feared for its unpredictability, ambition, and resilience. They were not like the others who had quietly assimilated into the Council's ancient traditions. Humanity questioned. Humanity innovated. Humanity refused to kneel. And for that, they had been marked. It began subtly trade sanctions, sabotaged diplomatic missions, mysterious disappearances of human explorers in Council-controlled territories. Ambassador Verne had presented undeniable evidence of this treachery before the Council, believing in their justice. She was met with cold silence. Then came the final blow. A covert Council fleet, composed of ships from multiple elder species, struck Mars, one of humanity's crown colonies. Billions perished as the red sands turned black. Earth itself was next on the list. Only a desperate defense saved the planet, but the scars remained oceans, boiled in places, continents cracked, and the orbit was littered with the debris of shattered defense satellites. The Galactic Council had crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Across the stars, a call to arms was sounded. Humanity abandoned its fragile hopes for diplomacy. From the dark shipyards of Titan to the deep forges beneath Luna's crust, a fleet unlike anything the galaxy had seen was born: the Vengeance Fleet. Admiral Cailan Stroud, a veteran of countless border skirmishes, was appointed Supreme Commander. His ship, the Hellspear, led the armada. Stroud was no diplomat. He was a weapon shaped by loss, a blade honed by betrayal. He vowed not just to retaliate, but to bring down the very foundation of the Council's authority. The first blow struck Orcs itself. The Hellspear breached the Council's outer defenses in a brutal battle that lasted 72 hours. Automated defense grids crumbled before humanity's AI-driven warships. Council reinforcements, slow and bloated from centuries of peace, were torn apart by the swift and ruthless tactics of humanity's Vengeance Fleet. In the heart of Orcs, as the great chamber burned, Ambassador Verne stood again, this time clad in battle armor instead of diplomatic robes. She activated the ancient beacon that broadcasted humanity's declaration across the galaxy. To those who conspire in shadows, know this: humanity will never forget. Humanity will never forgive. The Council's member species reacted in panic. Some pleaded for mercy. Others mustered whatever fleets they could, hoping to crush the uprising before it spread. But humanity had allies: two young species, inspired by the humans' defiance, oppressed for centuries, who now saw an opportunity to rise. World after world fell or defected. Council space, once an impenetrable fortress of tradition, became a bleeding wound. On the burning remains of Council homeworlds, humanity didn't plant flags. They planted memorials: silent stones bearing the names of those who had died on Mars, on Earth, on the lost colonies. Their vengeance wasn't for glory. It was for memory. The final battle raged above the crystal worlds of Vindros, the last Council stronghold. The sky itself seemed to bleed as plasma fire ripped across the heavens. Admiral Stroud led the final assault personally, his voice steady as he gave the order: no quarter. The Council's last High Chancellor, a being of shimmering energy known as Vezthra, attempted negotiation, offering concessions, apologies, reparations. But it was too late. Humanity had been betrayed by their trust once. They would not be deceived again. As the Hellspear's main cannon unleashed a final blinding salvo, the great spires of the crystal world shattered, collapsing into sparkling dust. When the smoke cleared, there was no council left. In its place rose a new order. Humanity, tempered by betrayal and loss, did not seek domination. They established the Accord of Free Worlds, a loose confederation where no species would rule another, where betrayal would meet swift and merciless justice. Humanity had become both the sword and the shield of this new galaxy. Ambassador Verne, now known as the Mother of the Accord, once stood again before the gathered leaders of the Free Worlds, her voice echoing across the stars. Remember the lessons of blood and fire. Remember what betrayal costs. And above all, remember that the stars belong to all who dare to dream of them. And so, humanity's vengeance forged a new future one, where fear gave way to freedom, and the ghosts of the Council served as a warning to all who would seek to rule through treachery.